Hi everyone, welcome back. Teachers play an important role in shaping the young minds of our children, and our next guests say that North Dakota and really all of America, they are in a bit of a crisis because of the declining number of professionals in the field. Now, instead of sitting back though and just letting it happen, the folks at UND are trying to do something about it. We have Cindy here this morning, the Dean of the College of Education and Human Development at UND, and Ashley with us as well. She is the Director of the new Office of Teacher Recruitment and Retention as well. So good morning. How are you two?
Great, thanks. Nice to be here.
Doing well, thank you.
Well, it is a very important topic. And, you know, especially after what happened with the pandemic, a lot of folks took early retirement or decided to do something different. And now, as school starts, we read stories about it every day. They need teachers, they need subs, they need professionals in education. And so what is your office doing, or offices, I should say, doing to try and counteract that, to bring more people into teaching?
Well, we've established in the college an Office of Teacher Recruitment and Retention, as you mentioned, and our goal there is to try to reduce some of the barriers for students to get into teaching. You know, make it clear how rewarding teaching is as a profession. Get more and more high school students interested in teaching, and we're doing a lot of outreach to middle school and high school students. So that's one leg of the efforts. And then the other thing we're doing is working with current teachers to try to help work on retention issues, finding out what are some of the sources of satisfaction and dissatisfaction for teachers, and see if there are ways we can help schools hang on to the really valuable teachers that they have already. So, and Ashley's heading up those efforts and doing a lot of different things to try to get us going in both of those directions.
And so what would you say are some of the biggest things you're seeing?
Some of the biggest things that we're seeing right now, having teachers reach out to me, is mostly the way that teachers are being treated right now. There appears to be some devaluing, not being treated as professionals, not being invited to some of the big conversations where the teachers should be involved in that decision making. They have the degrees. A lot of them have their master's degrees, so they're masters of their profession, and they are kind of out of control of what they can do within their classrooms right now. So that's really one of the biggest concerns for our educators today. Is we need to remind our community and our stakeholders and the people making those decisions that the teachers need to be involved in those decision-making processes.
Need to be involved and respected in that as well.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big deal for it.
Yes.
And so what do you all feel is driving teachers away right now?
Well, it's a pretty complicated picture. I mean, there's a lot of factors that are coming together. I mean, certainly, you know, teacher salaries are always a discussion, right? And how you really pay people for the incredible work that they're doing is one factor. But I think some of the other things that are happening is the stress of COVID in the school districts was really pretty keenly felt. It was hard for teachers and students to manage the changing structure. Now that we're coming back out of that post-COVID, there's a lot of anxiety and depression, frankly, that's coming with people. The kids are expressing that in the classroom, and it's making the classroom more stressful, and that puts a lot of burden on teachers. And I think it's hard to, going along with the devaluing, there's a sense of a lack of appreciation for the work that teachers are doing. You know, we had a brief period there where everybody was like, oh my God, I'm so thankful for my teacher. And then that has kind of disappeared into being less respectful, let's say, and so it's hard for teachers to feel appreciated. So we're hearing those kinds of themes come up over and over, that the need to feel supported and appreciated is just as important in many ways as some of the things you can point to, like salary and those kinds of things.
And to talk about that a little bit more, you know, I wouldn't, 10 years or so ago more, when the teachers were being valued and were being treated respectfully, the pay didn't matter as much, because if you can go to a job that you love and you're passionate about, what do they say? If you don't work a day in your life if you go to a job that you love, right? And now it's devalued and they're not being treated the way that they once were. So is that money that they're getting really worth what they're having to deal with right now in comparison to what it was like? Because there was a time where teachers were very highly thought of and treated that way as well.
Yeah, if the teacher sent a note home, it was serious business.
Yes,
you know,
that's right.
serious. The student took it seriously, and the parents took it very seriously in a lot of cases as well. And sadly, that isn't necessarily the case all of the time right now. And so, what would you have to say to people who are in the teaching profession right now who are debating? who go, there's been some changes and I'm not sure how I feel about going forward in this?
Sure. Well, one of the key things that I think is really important for all of us to remember is, teachers are transformative in the lives of children. Teachers, I still remember my favorite teacher, crystal clear, and she was my teacher when I was 6 years old, right? It was 50 some years ago. I mean, the power that teachers have to make the world better is like no other profession. And so hanging on to that reality that you're making the world a better place is really critical for teachers right now. And then I think also we need to help teachers advocate for asking for what they need, right? If they know that they're not being appreciated and valued, we all need to join together to make sure that we make that we correct that in our communities. Yeah.
Yes, I would say very similar. Reach out to people, reach out to your stakeholders, your policymakers, your legislators, us. We are here, we are advocating for you, and just hold on. Remember why you went into teaching. It's the kids, and I think as a community, we need to remember who this is really about, and it is the students and the kids, and they need high qualified teachers in every classroom.
That's for sure, and you can reach out to you people at UND and get help with that if they need. Well, Cindy and Ashley, thank you so much this morning.
Yes,
thank you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Coming up on today's show, we're going to be speaking with Plains Art Museum and the new stuff they have going around there. Stick around.